My husband kept a secret from me until after we got married. My husband, 21, and I, 20, got married about 2 weeks ago. Today when I came home he said he needed to tell me something. I don't know what I was expecting. He told me that he might have a child with a girl he used to date. Apparently she doesn't want him in her or her child's life. The child is still very young. They haven't had contact since she sent him ultrasound pictures. He told me he tried to make it work with her but it didn't. There's no paternity test and right now she doesn't want one. But he didn't just find out about this. He's known since she got pregnant and he never told me about it. At first I was in shock, but now I am so angry. I am so angry he never told me when he's had multiple opportunities to do so. The only reason he told me today was because he found out she's been having dinner with his grandma. Why would she do that if she wants nothing to do with him? I'm worried one day she will want him to be a part of his possible child's life or want money. Which she is entitled to. I still love him and I want to be with him but I don't feel like I can trust him right now. I don't know if he's hiding anything else from me. What do I do from here? Wait. Your courtship must have been a whirlwind unless my math is bad here. So she sent him ultrasounds and then turns around saying she wants nothing to do with him? Why bother telling him? Why maintain a relationship with his grandmother? This isn't adding up. You need to talk to someone else, like the grandmother. Tell her what you know and ask some questions. She'll probably fill you in on more. As for your husband, you're right to feel the trust is broken. It is. He ever say why he never mentioned anything now? Did everyone in his family know before you? You have every right to feel the way you do. Taking the woman and child out of the equation, the simple fact is he hid from you a major issue in his life and only confessed when he thought his secret was going to start coming out anyway. You're likely going to need a lot of conversations and in the end it's going to be up to you whether you feel you can ever trust him again or not. Right now all you can really do is be open about your feelings. Annulment based on fraud. He is trickled truthing to you. He didn't keep this as assert for no reason. You cannot trust this man. You never will be able to. He is showing you who is. Believe your gut. Annulment my dude. There is nothing to salvage here. He trapped you. Withholding data like this until a legally binding contract has been signed is a massive, ginormous red flag. Emo, there isn't any sense in trying to look past it, and find a relationship worth having underneath. This will keep unraveling into your life, and the period for an easy dissolution for the marriage will have long passed by that point. Cut your losses. You cannot build a relationship on a lie. My 27F fiance, 27M, wants us to become Mormons. I don't. About 6 months ago, a few days after my fiancé proposed actually, I came home to find him sitting at our table with what I now know to have been 2 Mormon missionaries. I figured he'd been duped into chatting with them. He's a pushover and has a hard time telling people, no. After they left, we laughed about it. I assumed he thought it was as goofy an experience as I did. But, in the months to follow, he actually kept meeting up with them. At first, he wanted to go to church with them. I thought it was a curiosity thing, so I didn't think much of him going, but I didn't go myself. Several times I have come home to find him reading books with the missionaries. I've told him I have no interest in the organization and that the whole thing makes me very uncomfortable. I'm losing him to what I consider a cult. I don't know what to do. He's like a shadow of himself, and all he wants to talk about is church. Why I need to join him, how we could be together forever this way. I am beyond being able to reason with him. I think I need to leave him if we can't agree on this, but I also hate to see him get pulled into this. What else can I try to get him to wake up and see the LDS Church in a less biased way? Too long did not read. My fiancé spoke with missionaries and now wants to be Mormon. I very much do not, and can't believe he's been pulled into this. I don't want to leave him, but see no other way out. He is being lured into a cult. There are deprogramming professionals you can talk to. But this is way over anything someone from Reddit can help you with and honestly, it's beyond your capabilities. I'm so sorry. I would be devastated. It's a deal breaker. He could even become dangerous. Sadly, your relationship is over. Coming from someone who escaped a very similar cult, Jehovah's Witnesses, run. You likely can't change his mind and you do not want to get involved. I believe there is an ex-Mormon sub. That would be a great place to get some advice. Ex-Mo. Ex-Mormon. Mormonism appeals to young men because it's all about empowering them over women, and giving them respect and authority purely on the basis of being a man. Honestly, if he's feeling lured into it, I'd call that a massive red flag. Just know that if you do leave him, the missionaries will use that as a reason he should get baptized. They will say, "This is a trial from Satan, trying to keep you from being baptized because he knows God wants you to do this. You will never be a part of his life again because he will hate you for being a trial and a pawn of Satan. This isn't to say that you should stay, just giving you information." Source: was a missionary, told people that exact thing, and am now a former Mormon after 28 years of cult indoctrination. I think taking this question to our ex-Mormon can definitely give you the tools you need in order to expose the lies, scandals, and crimes of this cult to him. But it's important to realize that in this moment in time, he believes that after death, if you both join the church, he will rule over a planet and that you will be his eternal spirit wife who will populate that planet. Which is absolute insanity, and you need to express to him how harmful these beliefs are to you as well as to himself. Speaking as an ex-Mormon myself, they try really hard to get people in by showing them that community feel that a lot of people crave. Most people look towards religion when they feel they have something missing, and while I feel for you in your lost relationship, he's an adult that got sucked into the religious cult that they are, and there's not much you can do about it. If he's into things like alcohol, recreational use of marijuana, caffeine, premarital sex etc., then he's not gonna have a good time. I also am a firm believer of believe whatever the fuck you want to believe, but don't push it on me, and it better not hurt anybody. Good luck, friend. Are my husband, 24, of 2 years and I, f 22, over? All my husband does is play video games. We have an infant and it is so hard dealing with everything. He recently went through a minor procedure. Doctor said he is fully capable of helping with the baby. All he has done is game. Today I was so burnt out and touched out that I couldn't take it anymore. I have taken care of our baby, as well as him while he recovers. He stood there while the baby screamed at me while I changed her, didn't even try to help. I snapped at him and we got in a huge fight. I left the baby with him and went for a drive. He put the baby in the nursery, screaming, and went to his game room to play video games and closed the door. The baby ended up crying for 2 hours before falling asleep. He didn't change the baby in the 3 hours I was gone, nor did he feed them. Baby eats every 3 hours like clockwork. I feel so numb now. After I calmed down from the anger, I felt numb towards my husband. I didn't feel love, or affection, just numbness. He rarely helps with the baby, and when he does, he just puts them in their swing so he can game. I haven't had any time to myself in 4 days, not even to shower. I'm just so done. The other day, he told me he didn't have any problem sleeping alone and that he's just fine by himself. So, is my marriage over? Do you want to be married to someone who doesn't seem to give a damn about you or your child? If you have talked to him about this, not just fought about it, and he has made no steps to change, then I think you have to make a decision on what is best for you and your child. Regardless of how he treated me, if my husband closed our baby in his nursery and ignored his crying so he could game, our marriage would be over. I could never stay with someone who would neglect his own child and prioritize a game over them like that. Sounds like a shit husband, to be honest. This is why children shouldn't get married and have children. You do not have a marriage, you are a convenience to him as a maid in sex. Divorce him, make him pay child support, and find a man who respects and loves you. There are people whose baby died out of neglect because the parents were too busy playing video games. Your husband sounds like one of those people. Absolutely get out of this marriage. Advise please. I am in a beautiful relationship. I am divorced and have 2 children from that marriage. My current relationship is 3 years and is basically as good as it gets. The problem, my children 8 and 11 hate her and it makes it so hard. I have 50-50 custody. My son the other day asked to talk to me about it. He said he just hates her and can't understand why I'm with her. She is different from his mother, so it's hard for him to get used to. He still wants me and his mother together. He begs for me to leave her. It's really hard, it's making my kids miserable, and it's no one's fault, they just haven't adapted despite our best efforts. Would you end a relationship that you are completely happy with and in love for you children? I think it depends on a few things. First off, your kids are at ages where they're going to have strong opinions about everything. Unfortunately, the exact thing they decide to have opinions about one day is completely different the next. Second, divorce and remarriage are hard on kids. It's harder if they have either been told specific things or overheard information. 50-50 custody makes it even harder and can sometimes cause other complications. Depending on the timeline, it could be your relationship progressed faster than your kids could handle. Third, if you're going to make it work, your new partner needs to be actively trying to connect with your kids. Your ex also needs to be on board in case her opinion is informing the kid's opinion. You posted about your wife last year, but somehow you are in a relationship for 3 years but not cheating? Something doesn't add up. You gotta get to the bottom of why they hate her and try to turn that around. As a stepmom, she will have to try really hard to win them over. You need to do family therapy with your kids. They don't hate her. They want you to get back with your wife. They need a lot of time to process that you are not getting back with your wife. You can keep dating your girlfriend during the week you don't have your kids. But you need to talk to her as well. The worst thing would be to ask your girlfriend to connect with your kids. It cannot be forced and they will hate her more. I read someone else who said to do that. Don't. You need to get family therapy and get help from a therapist until your kids are ready to bring her slowly into their life. Why did you delete a post from 11 months ago claiming you were still with your wife? Why? This you? If so, you're lying about something.